So the relationship with the Student Architects Awards goes back some 34 years.
It's a mutual partnership between Corobrik and the architectural profession.
The students play, I think, a significant role in the development and the upbuild of South Africa.
When I talk to them these days, they're now industry leaders, they're leading architects in many practices.
Digitalizing something like this keeps us relevant.
It has allowed us to reach a far bigger audience.
It allows us to expand our brand, not only nationally but internationally.
To expose students, architects, faculties.
It allows us to expand our relevance in the industry.
The Corobrik competition gives you a voice to contribute to the global discussion of architecture.
Recognition for a student means a lot because it gives a lot of encouragement.
It validated me and what I wanted to do in terms of career.
When you say Corobrik, to any South African at least, they sit up straight and they pay attention.
It's by far the most remarkable thing that happened to me in my life at that stage. With everything that I've achieved, that was a cherry on top.
Momentum builds from that, and ultimately I'm sitting here because of that whole event and because of Corobrik's input.
I think it's incredible that this award has continued for so long and is getting such a lot of recognition and has become such a huge celebration, I guess, of what students are doing and the potential that students have to launch their career.
So the relationship with the Student Architects Awards goes back some 34 years.
It's a mutual partnership between Corobrik and the architectural profession.
The students play, I think, a significant role in the development and the upbuild of South Africa.
When I talk to them these days, they're now industry leaders, they're leading architects in many practices.
Digitalizing something like this keeps us relevant.
It has allowed us to reach a far bigger audience.
It allows us to expand our brand, not only nationally but internationally.
To expose students, architects, faculties.
It allows us to expand our relevance in the industry.
The Corobrik competition gives you a voice to contribute to the global discussion of architecture.
Recognition for a student, means a lot because it gives a lot of encouragement.
It validated me and what I wanted to do in terms of career.
When you say Corobrik, to any South African at least, they sit up straight and they pay attention.
It's by far the most remarkable thing that happened to me in my life at that stage. With everything that I've achieved, that was a cherry on top.
Momentum builds from that, and ultimately I'm sitting here because of that whole event and because of Corobrik's input.
I think it's incredible that this award has continued for so long and is getting such a lot of recognition and has become such a huge celebration, I guess, of what students are doing and the potential that students have to launch their career.
Yeah. Are we on? There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. If I can ask you all to come through, please, and find a seat. The first 3 rows here are put aside for our finalists with their partners. So please come and have a seat. Finalists, please sit with your partner. Just to my right in the front here. I'm going to ask everybody else, if you have got something liquid in your hand, bring it with you. And then we're going to ask you all just to take a seat, please. The show will be starting in a few minutes. Thanks, Grant. All right, how are we doing? Well, we got a couple of finalists here. We short a few. Here, guys. Thank you. So the front or the next row, entirely up to you. Somebody make a decision, please. The finalists over there. Thank you. There we go. So we got 1, 2, 5, 6. We're missing one finalist. Wonderful. Where are you? There you are. Do you have a partner with you? Over here, for the 2 of you. Thanks. All right. Grant? I think we're good. Oh, we're just waiting for Rahdia. Cool. You just fixed Rahdia? All good. Okay, right. Thanks, guys. I'll now hand over to our MC. Who's that? Thanks, you too.
We feel really lucky to be here. We chose the most beautiful afternoon in the world because if you're watching this online, I wish you could see this. The Sandton skyline on this beautiful rooftop. We're coming to you live from the rooftop of the Radisson RED Hotel in Johannesburg, Randburg. My name is Elana Afrika-Bredenkamp, and it is such an honor to be here today. To our stars, our finalists, this is where you go, woo! To our finalists, we are proud of you. We can't wait to enjoy this afternoon with you. This is your afternoon, and there will be a lot said about you being present, about this beautiful venue that we are at, and also why it was chosen. But enjoy your afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, and to our judges, a warm welcome, first of all, to our VIPs, as well as our Corobrik executives, all of our guests, our stars for the afternoon, our finalists. A warm welcome to each and every one of you. Now, we did put blankets aside in case you felt a little bit chilly, but from where I'm standing, the sun is a beautiful 22 degrees with no wind, so I'm sure you won't be enjoying those blankies. But later on, hopefully, a drink, and you at home, thank you so much again for joining us. Now, I mentioned that this venue was chosen, and later on we will be unpacking it, but this rooftop venue and the Sandton Skyline, I don't think we could have chosen a better venue and a better time. More about that I'll leave for later. To our finalists, again, a warm welcome to each and every one of you. To our judges, welcome to you. It is an honor to be a part of the biggest architectural awards in the country, let alone the world. And to our universities who are representing South Africa here today, a warm welcome to each and every one of you. What a massive honor. Now, just to take you through as to what we're doing this afternoon, I'm going to call on Nick Booth shortly. He will be talking. Then our official opening of our awards. Also an introduction to our judges. They will be having a panel discussion, a short one, as we're unpacking our entries. Our finalists will be introduced individually. So when they call you on, follow our lead. We will direct you perhaps to come and sit here, or even to be seated at some stage. We will be having a keynote address from Cliff Gous. I'm really looking forward to this. He's a senior architect. He's also won the Corobrik Student Architecture Award in 2011 for his master's project, and we really look forward to hearing from him. Later on, Peter de Trevaux, he'll be joining us on stage. He's our Corobrik chairman. Wonderful to see you, Peter. And then we will officially open our awards as we do a special award. And then after that, we will be announcing our Corobrik Architectural Student of the Year for 2021. Now, if you haven't followed us yet, corobrik.co.za, we're very active on LinkedIn. On social media, you can find us on Instagram, as well as on Facebook as Corobrik, as well as Corobrik ZA. Ladies and gentlemen, there's two types of leaders. The one is a boss, and then the other one is a leader. And it is really an honor for me to introduce you to our leadership. Corobrik Chief Executive Officer Nick Booth. Let's give him a roaring virtual and round of applause.
We reached that age, I'm afraid, where we need to use specs. So we are at that age. First of all, good afternoon to everybody, and thank you really for joining us today. And welcome to the 35th Corobrik Student Architecture Awards. Now, 35 years is a working career for most people. So Corobrik has been investing in the architects of the future for the last 35 years, and we will continue to invest, we believe, for the next 35. So this is not a one-off shot. This is a continuous investment from our side. Today is another step towards normality, because last year we did 2 years of awards in one go, and it was all a virtual presentation, and it was a learning curve for all of us. And now, of course, the rules of the game around the pandemic have changed, and here we are once again with a hybrid model. So we have a limited audience in line with the size of the venue, and obviously using the open air to our advantage. But we also have a large online audience today who are obviously tuning in. And we do think that by next year we'll change again, because we are having demand, and it's a good demand, for more people to attend the function. And that's particularly from our universities, and we're very proud of our relationships with the departments at the universities. So today is going to be amazing, because we've got 7 amazing individuals who have done some special work, and that has already been acknowledged at a regional or university level, and now it's going to get acknowledged at a national level. So well done, guys. And I'm hell of excited, because I wasn't here for the judging. I normally am, and I missed this year, so with all the changes we've made. So today with us, we don't just have the finalists with their partners, but we also have our university representatives. Thanks everybody for being here. Members of the architectural community, and of course our Corobrik representation. Thanks everybody for joining us. But I'd really like to take the most time in this little chat to thank our 3 judges. Agyei, I got it right, Rahdia Parker and Ludwig Hansen for the hard work and the careful consideration you gave to these presentations. I think for those who don't know, Corobrik doesn't give guidance in terms of how the winners are chosen. We leave that to the judges and their instincts of what is right and what is wrong in terms of what the expectations are. So we have no input in terms of who the winner is. We leave it to the judges. And what I can say to you is the feedback I've had on these 3 esteemed judges is that they applied their minds to a level of detail and understanding that was exceptional. So thank you, guys. It's really appreciated. Can we have a round of applause for the judges? And it's that kind of consideration that has made these awards so successful over the years. And that's what's led to the sustainability of these awards, that it is not a company-driven thing. It is driven by the architectural community, and the judges come from the architectural community. So these awards are important to the architectural profession. They're important to the building industry, and obviously to the participating universities, because they encourage creativity, they encourage new approaches to architecture, and I personally believe that they bring a sustainability to the profession, because what we're doing is we're ensuring that the future of the built environment is in good, ethical hands. And that, I think, is an outstanding vision for your profession. We're also very proud of the success of our previous participants. Our guest speaker today, Cliff, is one of our previous winners. And if you go through the list of previous winners and participants, they are scattered across the globe. They're all working in major firms. They've all been very successful in their careers. So I think the work you've put in is just indicative of what we expect from you in the future. So if you think the project was hard, guys, working's even harder. Working really and coming up with really good ideas and developing and designing really good architecture is what you have to look forward to, and I think a very, very prosperous future for all of you. So well done. As I said, we're also proud of our contribution to the overall architectural profession. For those who don't know, we are involved with a number of the regional architectural associations and with SIA, and we've been involved with SIA for over 40 years. But today, guys, it's not about me speaking. It's not about the nervous tension in the 7 individuals here. This is a celebration of exceptional individuals. So I ask you please to enjoy, celebrate with us, have a few drinks afterwards, chat to us, and let's get on with the afternoon. Elana, thank you.
Thank you so much. I see that there's a few of our guests that have just arrived. A warm welcome to each and every one as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Nick, we really enjoyed your motivation and your welcome, and also the congratulations. As I mentioned earlier, we enjoy our leadership, especially when they motivate us like Nick just did. And ladies and gentlemen, our awards are officially open. And so, yes, I heard one tiny little, woo. You can clap. Now, we are on Corobrik ground, in case you haven't noticed. See, from where we are, you can't see it, but this building is built out of Corobrik. And it's no coincidence that we chose the venue next to big diggers, and on this side they're building. So to everyone online, if you can hear a slight buzz or people banging, it's because this is music to our ears. Because this is where it starts, right? And hopefully that's not where it ends. A sinkhole, no? No, we enjoy building, and that's what we're doing today. As I mentioned, our awards are officially opened, and it was such a privilege to be here last year. Last year we got to talk to our finalists, mingle afterwards, and I almost want to say, while we are waiting for our judges just to gather their thoughts, when I bring them up here, they will speak to this, that even though we are choosing a winner today, that each and every one of you as a finalist, and I mean this, you are valuable, you are important, and when you go back to your institutions, your tertiary places of learning, I hope that you go back proudly, because you are representing not just them, you're representing us, you're representing you, you're representing all of the winners, you're representing your talent, and you can use it for good. And I guarantee you that everyone that has walked away from this project has landed something incredible. And so all the best, really enjoy it. We're going to give you an opportunity to talk soon. Don't be shy, this is your moment. Okay? We want you to enjoy every part of it. Agyei and also Blake, that was here last year, they went on to pursue amazing careers. And in their absence, I also want to say well done. Chances are they're watching this. So, hey guys, good to see you. And well done with what you have been doing. Now, I spoke about our judges, and I think it's time to introduce them. So, please welcome to our outdoor, beautiful Skyline stage, our first judge. I see that they're still miking some of them, so those who are ready, you're welcome to join us. Ludwig Hansen Architects and Urban Designers, he will be joining us. Rahdia from Cape Town, and then also Agyei, City of Tshwane. Let's give our judges a warm round of applause. Thank you so much. You can have a seat. Thank you, ladies. Ludwig is joining us. He actually just ran 7 flights of stairs. That's why he couldn't make it here earlier. Hey, Ludwig, good to see you.
Just made it.
Just made it. You're not even exhausted. Look at that. Ludwig and Rahdia and Adwoa, it is wonderful to see you. Let's give our judges a round of applause. We enjoy your mentorship. We enjoy your input. We enjoy what you have created in this industry and how you have taken time out not to mark or criticize, but to mentor, adjudicate, and give advice, and we appreciate your time so much. And earlier when I met Adwoa downstairs, I saw her downstairs for the first time. You know, so far we've been watching everyone on social media, and it was wonderful to see you speak on social media, but meeting you, there is something about all three of you that makes us want to become you. So thank you so much for joining us. I mean that, because here are our future architects. They will be running your company soon. So thank you so much for being here. Ludwig, I'm going to start with you. I mean, one of the things that I know is that, and I quote, the judges have been blown away with the submissions.
Can only agree with that. As we said, and many have said already, there are 7 winners here, and I think it has been actually an honor on our side to participate. I think it's, and go through the unbelievable amount of work and beautiful work. So I think it's been an honor. Thank you.
Adwoa, what's your feedback to the amazing work that is being displayed online on corobrik.co.za in your presence, part of this program? What was it like for you?
It was exciting, it was challenging, it was real, it was relevant, you know, it's all, as I've said to everyone, I think, of the here and now, and it's exciting to see the architects that you guys are becoming. I feel safe.
Yeah.
In South Africa with you guys, you know, doing what you're doing, you know, because I'm a little bit jealous also because your work is exceptional. It really, really is. And as Ludwig had says, everyone else has said also, Elana also mentioned it, really strong arguments can be made for each and every one of your work. You're all winners, really. You really, really are all winners. The work is beautiful. It's incredible. It communicates really well what you were each trying to get across. We got it, and we want to be part of it, you know, going forward. So, thank you.
Wow. Rahdia?
Like Ludwig and Adwoa was saying, it created interesting conversations, and that is something that is immensely profound. When you've come through a process of 6 years of studies, you're selecting 7 top performing students from institutions all over South Africa, and you bring that together to share and contribute to that collective learning, and that's what it's about. We never quite arrive as architects, and I think for all of us, even in practice, we are always looking for that sense of identity and relevance. And I'm immensely proud to have been exposed to it. I've learned a lot from it. We've had remarkable conversations about it. South Africa is a place the world must watch out for.
Wow. Let's give our judges a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now I'm going to invite our finalists us to the stage. This is the fun part because you get to sit next to me, you get to hold a microphone, and you get to talk. So what we're going to do is we're going to call you up one by one. You're welcome to take a seat. It's really just for us to build tension. No, it isn't. It's an opportunity for us to engage with our judges. It's probably the first time other than earlier today that you'll have an opportunity to chat with them. So, Dean Smuts, Tshwane, University of Technology, please join us. Hasai.
Hello. Hi, Dean. It's lovely to meet you in person. I particularly am drawn to your project and appreciate it so much because of the subject matter that you deal with. You know, a lot of the times in our current state, we speak of, you know, empowering the female and, you know, girl power, and that's fantastic, you know. I want all of that. But I think that a void is being created with the male figure. So where you speak of the process of securing boys to men and the transitional growth that happens and creating space for that, I think it's really, really quite valuable what you're doing. And also just your general site choice, you know, it's prominent. It's stand up, it says stand up and look at me, you know, as you're entering Pretoria, as you're leaving it. The tailoring process also that you speak of, that you use, you know, throughout your design, is transitional. There's almost an unboxing at the end after you've packaged it and you present it to the community. And I almost want to draw a parallel to your process going through the degree. And can you talk to us about how you have been unboxed, so to speak, in the space that you are in at the moment?
I actually definitely feel that my project was a metamorphosis, as well as myself going through the whole process. As we all know, students put their hearts and soul into their thesis project, so it becomes your little baby. So while your project transforms and grows and develops into this masterpiece, you also transform. And we all grow into becoming master students and mastering our project, and then being seen like today. So I can actually feel that I've also morphed into a new person just through my architectural experience with my thesis.
Thank you so much. And your penmanship is incredible. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to Dean, and thank you, Adwoa. Linda Lesole, University of Johannesburg, please join us. Thank you, Linda. Linda just did a sigh. He just did this. Ah. Yeah. You okay?
I'm good, thanks.
You're going to be great.
You look fine. No worries.
Thank you.
And if I'm doing the citation on yours, and I have the pleasure to do that. And I think, like everyone in your group of 7, the choice of project, the difficulty of the projects that you've taken on board, and then assess them, I think, is so commendable. And I think in this case, taking on an aspect about Boyson's, the informality that has occupied what is a formal structure within our city, is skirted around. No one really addresses that. And I think that sort of courage that comes with your architectural exploration, is, I trust and hope, is something that you take forward in your professional career. And I think it has so many applications, not necessarily in that same topic, but beyond that. And I think that is highly commendable. So maybe even in the short period since you've qualified, what have you taken that on board, or how have you taken it on board in your next phase?
Thank you for that. So for me, I think architecture is in constant motion, and so is the landscape that we design in. And I think it's imperative for us as spatial practitioners to understand that. And I think most of the time and time again actually, we are limited by different rules and regulations that we work with. Even though not given the opportunity as yet to deal with it directly, but I strongly encourage spatial practitioners to look at informality beyond the formal rules and regulations. I think Adwoa works with the city of Tshwane, for instance, so it's probably a direct challenge. We need to step back as regulators and start thinking about these spaces and not just think about them from the top, but it's probably time we lower ourselves down and try to look at informality as a driver and learn from it as spatial practitioners. A 6-meter building line, what is that? So I think for me it's that, and I'm anticipating an opportunity to actually apply that.
Breaking those boundaries is clear in your research, and your answer was even better than that.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linda. Next, ladies and gentlemen, is Enrico Pescivolo from WITS.
Thank you very much.
So Enrico, Elana, I have to tell you, when I received the documents, Enrico's was the biggest. It was quite a collection. I felt like I needed to read it first, and I needed to spend enough time to understand the level of detail he had gone through. It's an immense amount of work he's done. I almost feel as if I know him, because it's like Dean says, this is a piece of work that they put their hearts and souls into. And reading Enrico's, you could feel that, you could get that sense. I must also say that Enrico is fearless. Scale is you know, not a boundary for him by any means. So a question I have for you today is, what kept you inspired, and what were those threshold moments that made you get through all those transitions you developed?
Thank you, Rahdia. Yeah, I think what inspired me was the whole thesis. I was deeply bothered by the global warming crisis, and during my research and all of my case studies, what inspired me was when space had a moment where it made me think about what I'm experiencing and what I can take out of that space into another building, into my discussions, in my everyday life. And for me, what kept me going was, how am I going to make this a statement that anyone who enters it can go out there and share this and potentially make an impact on the world? And my breakthrough moments, it's a bit difficult to say because you have to look at it from a distance. So I wanted to almost describe it as the growth of a tree. It would start out as a single element, but as these branches go, that's kind of the process. And if you're focusing on a single branch, when it diverts to make a leaf, you might see that as a place that it doesn't belong. But if you step back, it's part of the process. So my breakthrough moments were in the errors of seeing that this doesn't work, but it is part of the process. Take it back a little bit and then keep on going.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I think in a broader perspective, as you develop your career, your love and understanding for humanity and technology, I hope that that is something you always hold on to.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Enrico.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Enrico. Up next, Mpho Sepelane, University of Cape Town. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Well, I have the pleasure of addressing you, and I'm so pleased to meet you in person, because I think it's the most inspirational work. It is layered with so much information and thought-provoking aspects, and it addresses aspects which many of us haven't even considered. And the translation of traditional values into changing our urban environments and our architecture is a fantastic lesson. And that sort of all grows out of a very strong self-belief, a manifesto of where you come from and how you then, without discharging that or being told to do otherwise, you've been steadfast in that. And I think maybe there's no question in that. I'll think of question. But I think the hope is that you
remain that steadfast in your manifesto and apply that, whatever the situation might do. And I think I must congratulate you on that and wish you all well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ludwig. Thank you.
You might want to comment on what you're doing now and how you're going to apply it.
Well, thank you very much. I think this journey and opportunity has really validated a lot of what I think my fellow students, especially people that are very connected to their culture, have been struggling with. The issues of translating who they are, what their culture entails, their values into their everyday life, into their professions. And I think this process really is a beginning for me where I started to uncover so much in this process that I really am excited to keep going because I think it's a very valuable work, and I'm really excited to also collaborate with people and learn from more cultures too and what other people have been thinking about these ideas of translation and preservation. So yeah, I'm excited. I think this is the beginning. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, thanks for the inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you. And Paul, wow. Sure. This is exciting.
Isn't it?
Your eyes are shining. Well done to all our finalists so far. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue. Vian Jordan, University of Pretoria. Agyei, this is your one. Have a seat. Thank you.
Hi, Vian.
Nice to meet you.
How are you doing this wonderful afternoon?
Very, very good.
That's good, that's good. Your project really, really excites me. You know, in cities, it's almost like we're having a conversation earlier. Rahdia was saying she doesn't feel like Joburg is really a holiday place, you know. It's like get in and go, you know, get in, do what you have to do, and leave. And I feel that it's the same way with Tshwane, you know, with Pretoria. So I really appreciate how you look at, you took the time to really study your protagonists in order to be able to create space of pause, refuge, as you call it. And your blurring of boundaries, you know, it really, really, and the materiality that you use in the blurring of boundaries is really, really quite beautiful. Perhaps the question then is, since I'm from the city of Tshwane, as Linda rightfully pointed out, and being interested in ownership and boundaries and space and form thresholds, how would you suggest one starts to look at expanding on that? What elements from your project which brings people to a space of refuge would you take out so that we can almost implement these throughout the city, so it becomes an urban project almost?
Yeah. I would say, I think the first thing would be to understand those concepts of ownership as more informal, because that's what I realized on site. It wasn't necessarily the intention when I went into it, and that was the topics that I wanted to research, but it is so evident, but it's also very ordinary, the way that you claim space of things around you, just the way that you occupy it. So I think the informal component of it is really important and gets overlooked, because it isn't necessarily just ownership, it's about encroachment. How did people appropriate space in a way that you couldn't even foresee? And I think that's really important, is that mentality is more important than any design principle that you can take forward into something. It's understanding things on a very intimate scale, on a personal scale, and that's what I try to do, is that I try to understand the city not as a city. I tried to understand it as a collection of people and how they operate, because it's a very complex context to understand, and there's a million issues you can try and resolve or address. But I think just trying to understand it on a personal level, you almost get to the essence of what's going on. Yeah.
And I think that's really valuable, that you keep with the essence of things in your design going forward. You know, that's a really strong character that you have there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well Thanks so much. Thank you. Well done, Vian. And thank you, Adwoa. Lunal Greiling, University of Free State. Let's give her a round of applause.
Lonel.
So, Rahdia, this is with you.
Yeah. Lonel, I feel as if I know you. Lonel has an incredible talent. She's able to transform a space into such a memorable and tangible experience. Her work was so easy to fall in love with. It had a tactile kind of memorable gentleness while still being very powerful and strong. And to be able to manage that kind of contrast in architecture is truly an art form. Your work was incredibly inspiring to all of us. Like I said, it was easy to fall in love with. Elana, she transformed you and she took you to her space. Her work brought those pages to life. You could feel it, you could feel the wind in your face, you could experience it. You could walk through those buildings and actually understand what being there must feel like. And when drawings can take you and captivate so much meaning through that, it's beyond talent and even art. So I hope that if this is the beginning of what your work is about, it's an incredible point to be at.
Wow.
Maybe you can share with me what kept you inspired and what kept you interested in taking on the choice of site you did.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so the site, it's a site I often visit and didn't think much of it as an architectural site until I really didn't know what I'm going to do with my thesis. And then I really started considering what that site meant to me and what the memories really that was lost there. And that's really kind of evoked that memories of how do you put this into architecture and how does architecture act as this vessel. And that really drove me just going to the site, and even in my own mind, I think I visited the site twice in the year, and that was that. And so it really became a site in my mind that each time, like you say, you go through the site, I really try to create an architecture that you move through and experience. And I think really a lot of it was in my mind and in my drawings. How can you really experience this architecture as a story, as a narrative, without actually having a video or something that you can tangibly touch, but how can this drawing or how can this narrative really draw you through that? And I don't really know how to put it into words. I think my drawings
Your
are
drawings
stronger
capture that.
than my words. I'm not that great with words, but I think that inspired me to draw and then to take that as an narrative and experience, how to take you through that building or space.
It was amazing.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lunal. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Forshire, Nelson Mandela University.
No.
I didn't breathe.
Hello there. Yeah, hello.
Ludwig, this is
yeah, it's
you,
me.
yes.
Hey, and last but not least. Wow, what a feast of a thesis. It is so richly endowed with color and design, and not just in architecture even, it's all the way from graphics to art. And one of the unfortunate things of not being online is that we can't see the physical posters, for instance, and the physical drawings that come with it. And I think that speaks for everyone, of course. And you know, and it really speaks not only in terms of the theoretical aspects that you touched on, and how you explored that and translated that into physical space and graphically displayed the narrative is really fantastic. And it's not just about architecture in terms of the building intervention, which you took Johannesburg of all places to try, which is very difficult in its own way. You took it on as an event in the whole city, and how these sort of event spaces can regenerate. And I think again it's sort of off the ball kind of thing. Very fantastic there. So I think congratulations on that. And maybe just on, share with us, why you chose Johannesburg specifically as a topic and not Nelson Mandela, for instance, university where you come from.
I mean, to be honest, I think it could be anywhere.
Yeah,
I think
correct.
the South African resonates everywhere, but I think the CBD is in particular need of, that just a little bit of spark, because it's gone through so much and it's been, it's had so many stories, and this is just another story to add on. And the idea of a circus is that it's there for a moment, and as we've had so many moments in the city, this is just another one of them. And just like I said, to bring that occasion and celebration and spark. And there is, there's individuals in that city, and we often look at it as just this dark city, but there's color, and so to bring that color out and just to celebrate it really was the choice.
Successful. Thanks, Daniel.
I must say, a lot of you with great relief and also a few sighs as you sat down. You weren't the only one, don't worry. Finalists, we are proud of you. Let's give them another round of applause. You did well, exceptionally well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask our judges to take a seat. Thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause too. Incredible stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you once again to our judges. I mean, the way you spoke, Rahdia, oh, I had goosebumps, And you can see where we are in this beautiful venue with a slight wind that's picking up. There are no displays because the drawings and our explanations, it speaks for itself. Also, you can find the drawings online, and when you follow us on social media as well as on the website, you will see what we are talking about. Now, speaking of getting creative, soon, as I mentioned earlier, we'll be taking our finalists back on the stage, and it will be to hand you a certificate. But first, we have a beautiful surprise for you. In fact, an event wouldn't be one if we didn't have a keynote speaker and some form of mentorship that we can all look up to. I want to introduce you to someone who is simply incredible. In fact, our keynote speaker is Cliff Gous. He is a senior design architect and a qualified urban designer at Tshwane and Partners Architects. In fact, in 2011, Cliff won the regional and national Corobrik architecture competition with his thesis. Cliff is also an external examiner, curator at various universities, perhaps where you are studying as well, from University of Pretoria, Tshwane University of Technology, as well as the University of Free State. When I chatted to someone earlier about Cliff, I said, he's got a lot of international nominations. And I was told, well, most successful architects, Elana, have got international nominations. So I'm introducing you to another. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Cliff Gous. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is it on? Is it working?
It will be. Let's see. I'll just stand and talk while...
Hello.
There we go, it works.
All right, cool. First of all, thank you very much. What a lovely surprise, and Tila, thank you very much for the invite. It's so nice to see all the faces again, and Nick, thank you very much. It's a massive honor, a massive privilege, obviously, for me to be the speaker. Not that I'm going to say quite a lot, so don't worry, I won't keep you long. Yeah, but yeah, I remember my time here at Corobrik. It was also phenomenal, very memorable. So yeah, thank you very much. Then first of all, the students, fantastic work. I can just see that the quality is just getting better every single year. I do know why that is, because I think you're getting better access to information, better access to great guidance. So for the universities as well, Arthur, everyone, well done. I think you can be very proud of all the students that's here today and representing very good architecture. I actually, also just before I start, thanks for Corobrik as well. I mean, this is such a prestigious event. I remember first year walking into architecture school, and everyone was talking about this Corobrik thing. I don't know if it was a person or a class or an event, but then I heard about that prize money, and everyone was trying to figure out how can I win this thing. And but it is very prestigious, and everyone is very looking up to the standard of competition that you guys are hosting. So thank you very much. What you're doing for the industry and what you're doing for the architectural student fraternity is fantastic. So thank you very much for that. So yeah, I didn't know the venue is going to be this nice. So just mindful, I'm extremely scared of heights. So if you see me kneeling down or sitting down, it's not because I'm stressed. It's because I'm extremely scared as I'm standing here. But let's start. First of all, I want to talk to you guys about my experience. I actually prepared a separate presentation, but seeing that we're in this nice venue, I wanted to talk to you guys about theoretical design and translating that whole idea of concept design into built work, etc. But that's all boring stuff. I mean, seeing that we're in this lovely place, I just want to talk to you guys heart to heart, tell you a little bit about my journey, and maybe something resonates. Maybe there's something that can also help you guys make a few crazy decisions just to do something a little bit differently. So I'm going to start with my Corobrik experience. I remember it was 2 days, 2 packed days. We were quite busy in the office, so taking that 2 days off was hard. But I remember I was the last student on the last day of crits. It was just dragged out, and it was quite intense. I remember Tilo was shouting the whole time, "You're late!" I'm just like, "Not one more beer." I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking. But I mean, it was a lovely experience, and the late Jeremy Rose was part of our panel, which I still look up to today. And what made it more hardcore for me was in the first 4 chapters of my document was placing quite a lot of critique on heritage and commemorative design in South Africa, which he was a big part of. But luckily, everything went fantastic, and so yeah, it was an absolute lovely experience. But what I want to talk to you guys about is what I got out of that. So first of all, I was quite trained to go into that presentation. I remember my design mentor, Rudolf van Rensburg, and Jacques Loubser really trained me like a police dog. And the day when I got to Corobrik, I just forgot everything. But luckily, I think it worked out. The fact that I forgot was actually to my benefit. And that's what the first thing that I want to talk to you guys is the importance of your narrative and the importance of your story and the way you present. Examiners and clients don't want to hear that you're ticking boxes, but they want to actually understand your process. They want to understand your narrative and your story and how you got to the decisions that you made. And that is what I think also provides and creates exceptionally good architecture, is really bringing yourself into it. So that was the first thing, and I can see it now in my career going forward, presenting really hardcore concepts to very narrow-minded people, and making them think that it was their decisions and their good concepts. But that is a skill that one should always keep on learning, and it's an ongoing educational process, and it's very important in our field of work. The second thing that I want to talk to you about is the whole platform that Corobrik actually creates now for you. This is your 15 minutes of fame. Your projects are getting exceptional exposure nationwide. Everyone in the country, architecturally, the whole community knows exactly who you guys are. So what I tried to do when I was very fortunate to win Corobrik is I tried to use that platform as a launching pad. I then went after to see what other architecture competitions can I enter. I mean, you've got this lovely body of work already. Is there not a way that you can submit that internationally and see where that goes? And you will be surprised about how our architecture, South African architecture and South African student architecture compete worldwide. It is something that I would urge you all to do and really get onto that wagon and really see how many online exhibitions, professional competitions you can enter and get yourself known. I remember when my project won Corobrik, it was submitted to ARCHI-Pre, which it won a participant's favorite award, President's Medal, and then I entered into 5 or 6 other international competitions where it also won 5 international awards. So the thing is, you would see, and that's my next point where I'm getting to, is the quality of South African architectural work is better than you think. And I've seen it firsthand. We are very good competitors worldwide. We have phenomenal architectural practices that does exceptional work, and our student work also competes 100% on an international level and in an international stage. So don't forget that. The other thing that I've also seen was, very interestingly, I didn't want to stay in the country. Me and my girlfriend at that stage, which is now my wife, packed up everything. One of my best friends went with me, and we went to New York City. We had 1 or 2 years work experience. And what is astonishing is that we started applying at quite big firms, Dillis Scafidio, Renfro, big firms, DXA Studio, Shop Architects, all the big guys, Handel, all the New York superstar architects. And what happened was, very, very interestingly, out of the 3 of us, we got 11 job interviews for young South African, no good architects. And of that 11 interviews, we got 8 job offers, which I think was absolutely humbling. And what that shows you is not the individual, but that the overall standard of our work internationally competes. And that is something that you should never ever doubt yourself in. If you're going into a job interview, nationally or internationally, your guys, all of you that's sitting here with your phenomenal portfolios, can do absolutely anything that you want. It's your decision and it's your narrative that you now need to chase and decide what you want to do. I've also seen it now and at interviewing people at our practice. The guys coming in for interviews, it's such a hard process because all the guys are so talented. All the work is so exceptional. And to see that coming through the young ranks is just fantastic. I'm so positive about the architectural practice, South African architectural practice going forward. And I want you guys also to become that excited, because I think it's in you guys that we all going to place our hope. And I mean, if you look at a few of my colleagues, or one of my colleagues is actually now, ex-Burgertman colleague is working for Bjark Ingels Group. One of my other very good friends, ex-UCT, is now quite high up at MIT in the urban design. So don't ever think that you're South African, you need to stay here and just do whatever. Obviously, we want you to stay here. But we will compete internationally and locally. But the big question is, what now? So that's the nice thing. I mean, this is serious crystal ball territory. We don't know. And the fact that you don't know is good. Don't limit yourself by thinking you know what your route is now. And really open yourself up for any opportunities that might come your way. I just want to end on a very, it's sad but very funny quote that Professor Gus Garnicke at Tix always used to tell us. Do you guys know who's the best architect and most successful architect that ever came out of the UP, out of Tikkies? And he's always asked me that question. I told him, I don't know, Professor. And he said, Cliff, the most successful guy was Harry, from Harry's Pancakes. I mean, they do make great pancakes. But don't ever fall into that mindset. I do have a lot of respect for him, but I just thought it's a light note to end. Thank you very much, guys, and all the best.
Incredible. Incredible. Let's give him another round of applause. Wow. Cliff, I really enjoyed your motivation and that you listened to your gut and threw your speech away. I mean it. Because the message that you gave is a universal message of belonging and using your talent for good. You're not a motivational speaker, but you have motivated us to know that we're able to stay in South Africa, we're able to compete with the rest of the world, that your talent is good enough, that you're a success from South Africa. We are so proud of you too, you know? It's lonely at the top. But I think what is most remarkable is what you said about crystal ball. We're not going to limit ourselves to think we know where we are going to go, because you could go anywhere. Thank you so much for your word of inspiration. We wish you only the best as well. And may you stay in our country. New York doesn't look good on you. I mean, it's all the best for you too. Let's give him another round of applause. Thank you. I'm curious now. Can I ask you one question? Please come back. I want to know what happened when you got... Don't you want to know? I want to know what happened when you got to New York. Did you stay? And for how long?
Yes, I stayed for a while and worked there for a while until I ended up with serious visa problems.
I knew there was something that brought him back to South Africa.
But I wanted to come home. I wanted to come home.
How long were you there for?
Close to a year.
Okay. If you could, because we have your time now, this is amazing. If we could motivate our students even more with one nugget, what's the one thing you learned overseas that you think you couldn't find there, but that you could find in South Africa?
That's very easy. Every single interview that I went to there, the guys asked me, all of us are trying to get into Africa. Why are you here?
Wow.
And I didn't think about it like that, because I had a portfolio of 15 buildings at that stage, and there was senior partners in that office that was working on renovations in Manhattan for their whole life. So none of them have actually built a new building, because so it's very interesting. So that's why in South Africa we are blessed, unfortunately, with quite a lot of land. I do believe in densification, but that the experience that you're going to get here is very interesting and very important. And also, the other thing that I just want to lastly say to the guys, and I always tell the people that come for an interview the same thing, is remember, applying for a job is mutualistic in nature. Yes, you will be compensated for your time and your passion and your energy and your skill set, but what are you getting out of it? So it's very important to find and to tie into an inherent network of a lot of skill, a lot of talent, and obviously a lot of expertise that you can also start extracting from that, and then you can decide what to do with that afterwards. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming back. Thank you so much. After that, we don't need a winner. We can just go to work. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier I mentioned to you that our leadership is, I almost said in the room, our leadership is on the roof. And what's remarkable is that you inspire us too. It is my honor, absolute honor, to invite to the stage our Corobrik chairman. Please give a warm, roaring round of applause to Peter de Tervaux. Great seeing you.
Thank you. You're going to wait here. Good afternoon, everybody, and from myself, a personal welcome to everybody who's got here this afternoon, and for those of you that are online, if that's the right terminology, us old guys don't always get it right, but you're also very welcome to this Corobrik function. And let me start by thanking the organizers of this evening. I think to date it's been a great function, and I think that when the wine comes and starts flowing, it'll be even better. And I suppose I've got to thank Elana. She organized the weather, so thank you very much. You know, as chairman, you don't get to do very much. But over the 35 years that we've run this competition, I've been at every one of them in one form or another. Fortunately, not always as the chairman. But it's one of the real highlights of the year to be able to stand up here to congratulate our finalists and to then hand out the award, which tonight is 70,000 Rand. I don't think that's important to students of today. And also we have tonight another award of about 10,000 Rand. But before I get into that, I would like to invite the students up. We have a certificate for each of you. So, Elana, if you could invite them up in order of the certificates. And then I'd like you to stand up here for a moment, not while I do the final awards, so don't get nervous, just have a little think through where we go forward from here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to call you up. Please join us, Dean Smuts.
Congratulations. Nice to meet you. So anyway, up here, Dean, is good.
Linda Lesole.
Nice to meet you.
Enrico Pescivolo. Vian Jordan. Mpo Sepelane. Lunal Greiling. And then last but not least, Daniel Forshire.
You have to stand here for the camera width, so if you don't mind, we can't be all in a straight line. Somehow just, I don't know, just do it.
So Linda, you're at the back. I'm going to take you to the
Is it,
front.
you're used to that, are you?
Here we go. Mpo, come with me. Now we can see.
That's perfect, that's
closer.
fine. I'm sure we'll get by with that. So in congratulating, and you know, I think before I go on with this, I think it's important, and perhaps I've got to do it on behalf of the students, is to thank your backing groups, your parents, your sponsors, your universities, your spouses or your partners, whoever's helped you get through this process. Because when I look at that work, and I look at the work that I've seen over the years, it's incredible that you get through all that and still have a life around you. So well done. I don't know how you do it. I'm glad I'm not an architect, but it's incredible work. And I think that over the years, we've seen an enormous growth in the ability of the students. And well done to everybody who helps and supports them. I think also what's important with these awards, as it's grown over the 35 years, is the network of architects that have grown through these awards. Obviously, there's 35 winners. When it was our 25th year, we actually contacted each of the winners, and we had all the winners who, I suppose it's good in a way, but it's sad in a way, are spread all around the world. They've all done extremely well in their careers. So there's the winners, but also there's the regional winners. Then there's the rest of the finalists that are there. So over the 35 years, that network is enormous. And I can assure each one of you that if you're anywhere in the world and you contact any of those people, and we have all their contacts, and say to them, I'm a Corobrik student finalist, they'll pick up the phone, or I don't know how you communicate these days, but if you do phone, they'll pick up the phone and they'll open doors for you. And I think you must make use of that network as you younger people do these days, and communicate. I think that's a great network. I think that network is probably worth more than the prize. So if you'd rather have the network, we'll keep the prize. So I don't want to keep you up here. I don't want to keep anybody away from the wine. So thank you for joining me. And I'm now going to be able to announce the winners. Thank you very much. So this year, the judges brought to our attention, and remember Corobrik is not part of the judging, that 4 of the students paid a particular attention to brickwork. Now, of course, that's very dear to our hearts, and I hope you keep specifying brick for the next 120 years of, because Corobrik is this year 120 years old, and I hope you keep us going for the next 120 years, although we won't all be there. But 4 of the students really did put a lot of effort into brickwork, and it was suggested, we have done it in the past, it's not part of the main competition, it's completely outside of the competition, that we should acknowledge that dedication and the detail that went into the brickwork specification. So it's my privilege to hand out a special award tonight. It's 10,000 rands worth of cash and a trophy to Vian. Well done, Vian. Well done, and keep on specifying bricks. Eh? I believe you did a great job with it. We don't often put two together because they're not always the same color. No, I'm joking. Well done. So every year, of course, it's very difficult for the judges to choose. It's normally 8 universities, but this year Natal was not represented, but to choose a winner. And it's always sad to say, well, there's only one winner, but the tradition of the competition has always been there's no ties. There is one winner, and judges, you need to pick that winner. And it's my privilege and honor today to say that that winner of the Corobrik Student Architects Awards for 2021 from the University of Cape Town, Impu. Gonna get a hug. Now you can't cry. Yeah, I hope they're happy tears, huh? There you go. The check is in the post, as they say. Well done. Can you manage that as well? And I need the microphone for you. Oh, we've got another picture. I don't often get told what to do. Which one? Lovely.
Okay, wow. I don't know where to start, but I'm so immensely grateful to be here today. My dad, when I was on my way, was saying, baby, just enjoy. You know, you're going to meet great people, and I really did, and I'm so grateful to be here, to be a part of this competition, to have met such great people and with finalists, and this is so validating, and I really, really hope that more people are inspired to really trust in what they believe in and really stay strong and work on it, because I think the only reason I'm here is because I really was interested in my culture, and that's who I am. And I really hope I never let that go. Thank you so much, Corobrik.
It's our pleasure. Thank you, and well done. And well done to all of you again, and all the best with your careers. And don't forget, Facebook comes first. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Mpo's taking a seat, Peter, thank you so much. Let's give Peter a round of applause. Thank you for joining us here on stage. Thank you. Mpo, congratulations. She's in tears. This is wonderful. We are so proud of you. And to the rest of our finalists, we are so proud of you too. We can't stress it enough. There's been a lot said, and so much motivation and inspiration has come your way. So once again, congratulations. Let's give all of our finalists a warm round of applause. Well, as the tears and joy is flowing on this rooftop, and we can still see the rest of Sandton, the sun is setting, but we'll be here to party up a storm. You at home, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to switch you off while we switch on. So don't forget to follow us online at Corobrik ZA, as well as Corobrik on LinkedIn and Facebook, corobrik.co.za, to see the work of our finalists. My name is Elana Afrika-Bredenkamp. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Elana, before you leave, a big thank you for today, once again. You're an absolute superstar. You bring something, I don't know what you bring, it's just something really special to these occasions. Not just the weather, the sparkling personality, your ability to communicate with all of us. Outstanding, thank you. I'd like to say thank you to, and I always call them my team, but they're actually the Corobrik team. So the whole Corobrik team, 2 individuals in particular, Thilo, who you heard about from Cliff in detail, and yes, Thilo used to chase students around bars who were inebriated and had to do presentations, but were downing drinks to try and find the bravery to do it. I'm glad to see you guys a lot more professional. So to Thilo, thank you, and to Nadine, outstanding. And then to Grant and his team. Now, Grant and his team are the guys in the shirts who do all the work and put all this together for us. And they're absolutely brilliant. Thank you, guys. And I think Elana said it exactly right. Please come and have a dop with us. Come and relax. Come and enjoy. And let's celebrate you guys. Because I want to say, you've heard it over and over from the judges. But guys, 7 outstanding presentations. When I've been involved, it's been done on a numerical basis, and the range of the tightness of this year was phenomenal. So well done to all of you. And to Impo, fantastic. Cheers, guys.